So, not made a video in a while because I've lost. I'm just over it. But Aussie Kozak's out of jail, and I'm watching. It's so cool that they're on the other side of the planet because let me click my automatic gate clicker up here, because it's like I get home and I'm tired and I'm still thinking in my head like, man, it's tomorrow and I'm gonna have to wait till tomorrow to see it. But then it's like, wait a minute, it's already tomorrow down under, mate. And it's like, soon as I get home, it's dark outside and tired, and then boom, Saturday morning, Aussie Kozak fucking out there in front of everybody, like straight from jail. And close my automatic gate because we live in a collapse. First day out of jail, back in the shit, man. Anyway, I'm wearing my Media is Lying t-shirt today, so when I do have to go into the city, I'm not allowed to say shit, but my shirt can say shit. So I was backing out of here this morning. I was looking at my, what y'all would call the Jackaroo, or my Trooper, my Isuzu Trooper, and I've been over the last month. Man, this driveway needs a box blading. Over the last month, converting it from running on a carburetor to running on a propane mixer carburetor. Originally, it had the fuel injection, like late 80s, early 90s OBD1 Japanese Isuzu fuel injection. And, I used to have an interest in the carburetor idea because people are always like, why would you want to get rid of modern fuel injection? Because we're going into a collapse, bro. Because one fucking reman ejector that's 30 years old is fucking like $150, whereas I can get a fucking Chinese carburetor for $99. So that I tried that. So I did the Weber 3838 carburetor, swapped onto a adapter that was meant to put a Weber on an Isuzu 4ZD1. So I bought a 4ZD1 manifold, bought that shit, tried the Weber carburetor. It was all right. But then somehow I stumbled upon propane carburetors. So I was like, that's a much more fabulous idea, because the only thing I use the Jackaroo Trooper thing for is to drive around in the woods and use the winch to work on trees and shit like that. That's my mission now, is to use it to gather firewood for the coming cold winter. And so I'm backing out of my driveway, looking at it, and I was like, man, look at that Trooper, dude. All it needs is the fucking distributor put in, because I'm going from the electronic distributor that's giving me all this bullshit to the computer controlled one, to a regular old school, crank trigger style one. And so I'm backing out, and I'm like, look at that truck, dude. It's one step away from being done. I was like, I've been driving it around on propane. I've got all that done. I'm going to make a video about it, too, because it's actually something I would enjoy doing. But because I don't want everything to be about the New World Order. But I'm backing out, and I was like, it's too bad that I'm leaving my fucking house to drive an hour into the city where the prosecutor's there. Like if I were to defend myself against a vagrant who was high on meth with my Second Amendment, think of how bizarre this is. In Texas, I can walk around with my pistol out on my belt and it's normal, but if I drive into certain counties and jurisdictions where certain people fund the elections of everybody there that gets to prosecute you, you know what I'm saying? Like in Travis County, my rights probably may not be, as let's just say, as we back out of this, like Homer Simpson into the bushes. I may not be as free. It may not be as Texas-y as I think it is over there with my gun rights. If you're hip to what I'm saying, So anyway, I'm driving in there to go fix a lift gate on a Cisco truck so people that hate me can have their chicken wings and their napkins and their plastic knives, and I'm sure they give them COVID masks too. And so how long does this dynamic continue? The people that live in the red areas come into the collapsing cities to try to keep the infrastructure running. And if one of us were to get into an altercation with one of these like people that are high and mentally ill out in the streets that are now everywhere, and we have to wade through them and deal with them. If I were to use my pistol in Texas to defend myself in Austin, Texas, and they found out that like I perhaps wasn't as diverse or equitable or whatever their shit is, I might end up in one of those Alex Jones trials where it's like, well, look, the judge already said you're guilty because you didn't give us in discovery the document where you signed a statement saying that you had planned a conspiracy to murder this person. And we know it must exist, so you're fucking guilty. So the jury's just here to decide how much of your shit we can cut up when we're dividing up your corpse. So happy Saturday. I'm going into Austin. Fuck.